I reinstalled Dead by Daylight recently and, well, to be honest, I really like that Leatherface buff, he really needed this. But since this is a mean channel and I am a mean person, we're not going to talk about good things here. Besides, the times when I had faith in behavior have passed long ago. Back then, they used to make one good update and I thought, oh, now they understand what they're doing, now they'll be making good updates. But as we all know, in this game, one good update means 10 bad ones coming shortly. I know there is a small complaint, but the game's 4 years old. Where are toggling settings? You know, while playing Survivor you still have to hold shift to run, control, or C in my case to crouch, and worst of all, left mouse button. Like, people play Survivors differently. I am the kind of survivor that always runs, which means I have to hold shift whenever I move and left mouse button all the other time. If only there was a game exactly like Dead by Daylight that toggles all the actions by default. Too bad we don't have that one, do we? Now, I would really like to know why is this still in the game. Who thought it was a good idea to begin with? Sitting there spamming one button just not to die, yeah, very funny joke devs, but it's been going for way too long. Hex perks are usually very powerful. Too bad somebody thought that it will be a nice idea to bind them to randomly spawning totems. Yeah, like this game didn't have enough random presence in it. 4% chance of escaping from a hook in the first phase. Yeah, like you get lucky, you can turn the whole game around for free. Same thing as with hex perks right here. Nobody thought of ways of reworking this into a properly working mechanics, or maybe removing them entirely. Still better than having them in their current state. Optimization is still a real deal. It has always been and probably will always be. Dead by Daylight is known for dropping frames here and there without giving much care about how good your hardware is, but this graphics update, god damn it, after that one sometimes the game just straight up freezes, and that's on low graphics settings. To be honest, that one doesn't seem to change much, except for reducing FPS obviously. Grinding and reading and charts is impossible and prices for cosmetics are insane, not much of a complaint here, never really care about cosmetics anyway. Hey dude, do you wanna get that sweet little pure man hair over there? Well then you better give me some cash cause it's a licensed killer! No thanks, I already wasted too much money on this game and DLCs, way more than this game deserves. Sometimes in the Blood Web there's something in my way that I don't want to get. Maybe it's something expensive that I'll never use. Maybe I already have so many of those things I will never run out of them. Either way, it would be nice if I could, well, let's say, right-click them and skip them with a discount without actually obtaining them. A little less grind and a lot less garbage in the inventory. Such an easy tweak, why wasn't it applied for 4 years now? Damn. And I'm not even talking about the fact that the whole Blood Web thing is entirely random. Speaking of random, why do some windows and pallets spawn at random as well? Sometimes you run towards a pallet spawn point only to find out that there is no pallet there, and so the entire map knowledge thing goes straight out the window. Self-care and some other perks are a real problem. Even if you don't have some perks, you still might benefit from its existence if the killer will respect that and you'll use some other perks instead. To think of it, it's a common thing that some survivor perks just overly good while killer perks are very situational and might not even do anything throughout the whole game. Yeah, like hex perks. Didn't see that coming, did you? If you can't remove all the ways of taking game hostage, which doesn't characterize you as a good game developer in the first place, then how about you find a way around it? A surrender button would be nice, especially if you're a lost survivor in a dying state and killer cannot or does not want to find you. To think of it, this whole game's core mechanics are seriously flawed. I mean, in order to survive as a survivor, you need to hold left mouse button and avoid killer for the entirety of the game, while the only time when you're actually having fun playing survivor is when you're being chased by the killer. The objective contradicts the experience, but honestly, the same can be said about all the asymmetrical games the world have seen so far. Maybe we should discuss it later someday. Or not. Adding a pickup button would be nice. I mean, I absolutely love it when survivors lie on the ground next to a locker or window, so I had to look in the opposite direction, potentially risking to give away a free flashlight rescue. They have a drop survivor button, R by default, that one can be used to pick up the virus as well. But no, we're game designers, we know better, people are dumb, they won't remember that many buttons. Why can't I turn the music off? Behavior said that in the past a long time ago that it's a necessary game mechanic and the game will be strongly unbalanced if we'll let people do that. Well, first of all, Identity 5 allows players to turn off the music and it doesn't seem to be a big deal. And the second thing, your game is already strongly unbalanced, so such a minor tweak would not change much. But, you know, to be completely honest, I'm even playing the game now, well, since I reinstalled it recently, and still having fun on it. So sometimes, I guess, so maybe, just maybe, if I, let's say, close my eyes on random frame drops that acquire pretty much all the time, a strong disbalance among killers and perks, which actually gets in the way quite a lot, especially since I'm getting mostly useless perks via blood web, random system, overall randomness of the game, the fact that some characters can only be... The game doesn't launch anymore. Really, I tried it multiple times, it just doesn't start. It shows me some kind of error, and I get it that it's because of this easy anti-cheat update conflicting with my operation system, so I'm not sure how much it is of the behavior's fault, but to be honest, to me it doesn't really matter. What matters to me is that I can't play the game anymore. And you know, I thought I'll end this video with something like, oh, despite all these facts, maybe the game's not so bad, but it all doesn't matter, because since I can't play the game, means that it doesn't exist for me anymore.